Hope everybody's enjoying the study of natural evangelism. I want to talk to you about 3 barriers to evangelism. The first barrier that we see a lot of times people have is just plain fear. You're just insecure about doing it. You're not sure the outcome of it. That's why in the Great Commission, Jesus tells his disciples, go into all the world, but here's the promise, I will be with you always. So know that in those scenarios where you are being evangelistic, that Jesus is going to be with you during those times. His presence is going to guide you and just comfort you. So in fear, a lot of times we get into our head, but know that Jesus is there. You have God on your side. The second barrier that a lot of times people talk about is just time. I don't have enough time. I can't fit this in. How am I going to find the time to be an evangelist? This is where natural evangelism comes in. It's not so much that it's event-oriented. It's not event-driven. We don't go do evangelism. We are evangelistic. It means wherever you are, in school, in your family, if you're in a club, when you're naturally with people, doing life with them, that's when you do your evangelism. That's when you speak up in his name. And as we continue on with this study, we're going to give you some techniques on how to incorporate Jesus in kind of a natural conversation. The third thing I want to talk about when it comes to barriers is maybe just the feelings of inadequacy. I think all of us don't feel prepared enough, trained enough, and we're always a little uncertain if we're going to say the right thing. We need to know that Jesus is going to be with us and God is guiding the process. And we trust that when I speak in his name, it's not so much performance-driven. It's knowing that God can use my words to affect the person's heart. That it's up to them if they're willing to listen or not. But we know that God is there. And if we speak in his name, good things can happen. So don't be focused on technique. Focus on just the willingness to speak up. It's not about you. God will guide our evangelistic efforts. So don't worry about feeling inadequate. We all have what it takes. We have the Word of God that we speak to people. And then it's up to them to kind of engage their own hearts and if they're going to be receptive or not. We put too much pressure on ourselves. God's leading natural evangelism. We take the courage to speak into those situations. Hope this little video helps as we talk about kind of 3 barriers to evangelism. And we look forward to maybe looking at the next chapter as well.